What the duck is up, everyone? Welcome back to Duck Takes. And my co-host today, in place for Garrett, I have a TikTok icon himself, Stony the Great, here with us to talk about all things horror. How's it going?
What's up, man?
Good to have you.
TikTok icon is a little stretch, don't you think, bro?
I mean, you got more followers than us, right?
Yeah,
I guess. Come on now.
But y'all almost dead.
Good to have you here, and just excited to talk about horror movie shit today. So today's episode, we're going to be diving into who's the best modern horror movie director. So we got a list of horror directors that we're going to be going through and finish off the episode with some, pop culture horror questions as well. That'll be a good time. But first off, how did you get into the TikTok game?
All right, so here's an exclusive true story of how this all started. During the pandemic, I saw TikTok. I thought it was just a little dancing app.
That's what I thought. I refused to download TikTok for the longest time.
I was like, this is stupid. I ain't doing this. You know what I'm saying? Can we cuss?
Yeah.
Bet. So
he cusses all the fucking time.
Oh, all right. Bet. My guy. So,
Garrett's sitting on the futon over
it was
there.
2021. It was me and my old lady's anniversary, and we was in a hotel, and she was scrolling on TikTok,
Mm-hmm.
and I ran across this dude named Adorian Deck, and he was doing like these like maps that would change your perception of the world and like these cool facts, and I was just like, wait a minute, so you can do more than just do dumbass dances on this
do
app?
some informational shit.
You can do some cool shit. So I started like looking at his page. I'm like, So I downloaded it again.
Uh-huh.
I had downloaded it once and like just playing around with it. So I downloaded it again and I kept scrolling, and eventually I started seeing like movie reviews
Mm-hmm.
and people talking about like their favorite cartoons growing up and their favorite video games. And I was just like, I know all this shit.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Download it. So January 5th, 2022 was my first official TikTok video.
Oh, wow.
And it fucking sucked.
Yeah. Man.
Personally, I thought it sucked. But what's crazy, it was my first video, but it hit 12K views.
Right. And that's the thing was the algorithm. And it's funny, if you like going back and watching your own TikToks from like years ago, you're like, oh my God, just the progression of it.
Yeah, I'm
is
like, how
crazy.
did I get a following with this shit?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But
but the first video I did was a video called How Is This Not a Horror Movie?
okay.
And it was about The Matrix.
Okay.
Because how is The Matrix not a fucking horror movie when
That's
you
true.
really think about it?
It's a scary concept.
Horrifying concept. So and after that, I just kind of kept, just kept doing it. I got better at it. I didn't know what to do with the editing tools. Like I didn't know how to cut out dead air. My delivery sucked. I didn't know how to translate my personality from real life to camera.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was like nervous to record. I'm like,
oh yeah.
you do know there's no one watching you. So why do you have stage fright and you're the only motherfucker in the room?
Dude, it's crazy. I mean, I still get it. Like when the cameras and the lights are on, like I fuck up sometimes.
I'm ignoring it.
Yeah.
And looking at you.
It's hard not to.
Because if I pay attention to the fact there's a camera on me, I might get nervous.
Yeah, no, I know. It's crazy. And it's crazy how much, you've learned within the last few years of content creating, but how much there like still is to learn. It's insane. And I feel like when I've talked to a lot of content creators, the common denominator with, starting their channel was the pandemic, and like everyone was just, well, fuck it. Might as well see where this goes.
Yeah.
Cause I started the channel back in like 2021 on YouTube. I didn't even have TikTok yet. And one of my coworkers was like, he posted on TikTok, just like edits and stuff like that. But he was like, hey, you should, post some of your clips from YouTube on TikTok just because of the algorithm. The algorithm's so much better. I was like, TikTok,
way better.
Really? Yeah. And
YouTube, I don't even know how to do YouTube.
Dude,
algorithm. Like, bro, I posted a video last year that randomly started getting views this year.
Honestly, I still don't understand YouTube. However, I feel like your videos would be good for YouTube, almost like 3C style. Like, cause it's hard to get the long format going on YouTube as well. Short is definitely a better way to get a following on YouTube, but it's trickier than TikTok. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I post a short and be like, this thing been up for 2 weeks. Why has it only got 450 views?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So then I just started posting on TikTok and the views were definitely better. And then about 6 months into that, then Garrett joined and just started popping off the algorithm, man. But today though, the horror genre, which I'd assume is your favorite genre. Yes.
Of course.
And then where did that love for horror begin?
Shout out to my pops, man. My dad is the one who got me into horror.
Okay.
Like, because he grew up. My dad was born in '67, so he grew up with the classics.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like he would like sneak off to the theater and
That's
you
cool.
know and drop the little $1.50 and go see Nightmare on Elm Street when it first came out. So he was a real big horror buff. And you know, growing up, you know, we didn't really have a lot of money, so most of our fun was playing video games and going to Blockbuster. So we would just like go to Blockbuster, go to little mom and pop video store, and he would like take me to the horror section and just like show me all the movies like that he grew up watching, and then I was like, I want to watch them too. So that's how I got into it. Everything that I do on my account is because of my pops. Video games, cool. Marvel, horror. Yeah. It's all him, except I get paid for it. He don't. Yeah.
Funny enough, that's like complete opposite for us. I don't think our dad showed us anything like horror related. I don't know, because we grew up playing sports, so like everything was centered around sports, you know?
Yeah.
Like he was there taking us to practice every damn day. Like the support when it came to our sports was unreal. But when it came to like movies and stuff, I don't know. He wasn't a horror guy, so he didn't really show us any horror movies. I hated horror movies when I was a kid.
Word.
I hated horror movies up until freshman year of college, believe it or not.
Crazy.
Yeah. I just thought like I hated being scared. And funny enough, my dad actually did scare the shit out of me this one time. He you remember those computer games where they like Bloody Mary would pop up, or like an image from The Exorcist would pop up, and you're like trying to follow the dot or something, like focus real hard,
and then it jump scare you. Yes. Hell yeah!
So he had me play that game when I was like 8 years old, and he felt so bad. I was crying under the desk for like 10 minutes because I got the shit scared out of me.
Man, I remember being like 5, sitting with my pops playing Resident Evil.
Wow.
On the N64.
Wow. Yeah, we were not doing that.
Yeah. Like
that's cool though.
Yeah, that's really how I got into all this stuff, man.
Yeah, so I hated horror movies. I hated being scared, and even shit like Scream or Halloween Horror Nights, didn't want any part to do with that. I'm like, why do people want to be scared? And then I started getting into, you know, slasher. Like I credit a lot of my love for horror because of Halloween.
Yeah.
And then Scream, you know, work your way through the slashers, and then it just starts to expand and grow. And Garrett's asking who showed me my first horror movie. I don't even know. Me and my ex-girlfriend at the time, we watched Halloween a lot. So we got into Halloween like freshman year of college because we would be in her dorm just watching the Halloween marathon on like AMC or Sci-Fi.
Yeah, always Sci-Fi.
Yes, Sci-Fi. And we would just sit there watching them, and it kind of came like a tradition. And then I was like, you know what? Okay, maybe let's see what else is out there. And it just started growing. And then in film school, another film that I credit a lot to like just expanding out to other horror was Suspiria, the original.
Oh yeah, 1978. 77, yeah. That the Italian horror movie.
Yeah.
Great color on that.
Oh my God.
Amazing color.
So beautiful looking. Yeah. So we watched that in film school, and I was like, you know what? The horror genre does have a lot to offer. And then over the years, it just absolutely has become my favorite genre.
Yeah, because one of the reasons why I like horror movies, honestly, bro, is because for every regular quote unquote genre of film, there's a horror variant.
Yes.
There's romance, but there's horror romance, like Bones and All. There's comedy, but there's also horror comedy. There's action. There's horror action. You know what I'm saying? So that like every genre of film there's a horror variant to it.
Absolutely.
So you really can get everything out of that one genre, and I fucking love it, dude.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
No, it's great.
I even got Hellraiser tatted on me, Pinhead.
That's sick. I first tattoo. I don't have any tattoos yet, but I have decided when I do get my first tattoo, it's gonna be on my thigh, and it's gonna be the original Halloween poster with the pumpkin holding the knife.
Love that poster.
That's what my first tattoo would be. So first segment of the day, Ugly Duckling, per usual, where we give a horror movie. Well, it doesn't have to be horror, but today I'm assuming it's probably going to be horror.
Yeah.
A movie that we think is underrated, that didn't get great critical reception at the time, maybe didn't do well at the box office, and just a movie that we think deserves some more love. So what is your Ugly Duckling this week?
I got a couple, dude.
I mean, list them off, please.
Malignant from 2021. James Wan, the GOAT.
James, we were talking about James Wan on our episode with Evan. I don't think he gets the respect he deserves, to be honest.
He needs way more respect, dude.
I think so.
Way more. What's another one I fit? The Gallows.
Okay.
Found footage horror.
Okay, found footage.
Horrible reviews.
Yeah.
Me personally, I like it. I think it's well executed.
Are you a big fan of found footage?
I actually do like found footage movies, mainly because found footage is the one subgenre that actually does tend to kind of creep me out.
Yes.
Because unfortunately, I have grown extremely numb to horror movies, like and just scary stuff in general.
Gore and stuff.
Yeah, like don't nothing bother me.
Right.
Like the other night, we went to Netherworld Haunted House, me and my old lady, and I'm just like walking through the haunted house, just like.
So Halloween Horror Nights wouldn't scare you?
Probably not.
Probably not.
She's the shit scared out of her. I'm just looking at the actors like, if you don't get the hell out of my face, man.
The Insidious House at Horror Nights this year is pretty scary, but again, like I do get scared easily still.
Yeah, I wish, man. If you get scared about horror movies, you are lucky in my opinion.
Yes, I agree.
Because you get the full experience.
Yeah.
Me, I just look like, that would be a good jump scare if I could actually be scared.
All right, so you said, what was it, the Gallows?
The Gallows, Malignant, Unfriended.
Okay.
From 2015. That was like it introduced a new style of found footage where it's like the computer screen, the Skype thing.
Yes.
I thought that movie was great. I'm not gonna lie. I thought that movie was great. It's kind of also that they did it again with Host.
Yeah. I was about to bring that up.
Yeah, that movie came out during the pandemic and went crazy on Shudder.
Yeah, no, I've realized through this spooky season that I'm actually a big fan of found footage. Like I've always enjoyed found footage, but the more you go online and see like the discourse about found footage and how a lot of people don't like found footage
movies. I think it's overdone.
What is?
A lot of people think that found footage movies are like an easy cop out.
Yeah, but I'm like, I think if a found footage movie is done well, I think that is extremely impressive in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I love found footage movies if they're done right.
Yeah.
Like I love the VHS franchise. There's a couple stinkers in there, but overall,
I mean, just like any like horror franchise.
But overall, I do like the VHS franchise a lot.
We watched Hell House this spooky season. I love the first one. Yeah.
Grave Encounters, 1 and 2, Ganjiam Haunted Asylum. That's a great Korean found footage horror movie. A good double feature. Watch Grave Encounters and then watch Ganjiam Haunted Asylum back to back.
Okay.
They're basically the same exact movie with the same plot. Yeah. One is Korean, one is American.
Okay. Another one I watched recently was Creep, which I enjoyed it.
Creep was good too.
Yeah, that was a good one. And these budgets are like so small.
Yeah.
But what I like about found footage too is the reason why it scares me is like that camera, especially at nighttime, because usually it's just like the light on the camera and it's focused solely on what's right in front of it. So the peripheral vision is non-existent.
Right.
And so when something does pop up in frame, yeah, it's
literally like a POV, like you're watching it like through their eyes.
Yeah. And we'll talk about jump scares a little later too, in part of our, hot takes, overrated takes, because I mean, that's another popular topic I feel like with horror movies is jump scares. But for my ugly duckling, actually, I'm going to go the Friday the 13th remake.
Very underrated.
In 2009, which I personally like better than the original. Which I don't know if that's crazy, but I do.
It's not crazy. It's not. And here's the thing with the horror community that gets on my goddamn nerves. A lot of horror fans think old means better. And they can't accept that a newer version of said movie is better than their beloved original. Like, It 2017 is way better than It 1990.
Yeah.
Evil Dead 2013 is better than Evil Dead 81. It's okay to say that. Because if the new movie comes out and it's not better than the original, then it's a fucking failure. You feel me? The point of redoing it is to make it better.
Yeah.
So I don't think the 2009 Friday the 13th movie is a bad movie. Especially, you can't even really compare it to the first Friday the 13th.
It's different.
Yeah. His mama was a killer in the first one.
Yeah.
So, having this one focused just on Jason.
Yeah.
I don't even really call it a remake. I just call it like a reimagining.
Right.
Of the.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
And I can't lie, I am a sucker for old horror movies, but I think also for a lot of people too, just having a nostalgic attachment as well to those movies.
That's what it is.
For sure. Because like I don't have a nostalgic attachment to the 1990 It, but man, I know a lot of people that absolutely love
it.
Yeah, love it. And a movie that scared the shit out of them when they were kids, which I mean, valid if you're a kid watching that movie.
Yeah.
Like if I was a kid, I wouldn't be watching that movie either. But
yeah,
it wasn't my favorite.
No. Wasn't my favorite at all.
Nah. All right, so got some good ugly ducklings here. So now moving to the meaty part of the episode, we're going to talk about best modern horror movie director. And so we're going to just go through each modern horror movie director and go through their catalog, just, discuss their films. And then, like I said, just finish it off with some fun segments. So what modern horror movie director do you want to start out with?
Who we had on the list? We got
a decent amount. Do you just want to start off with kind of the obvious, Jordan Peele?
Yeah, I'll go Jordan Peele.
Okay, Jordan Peele. So probably I'd say the most popular name when it comes to modern horror movie director, just because of, I think, the transition from Key and Peele to then becoming a director, writer.
It was a huge, like, wait, you can do that?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Definitely, I would say he's definitely one of the more popular ones, and definitely sought after, because it's like, every time a movie comes out, someone's like, if Jordan Peele got his hands on it, it would be like, you know what I mean?
Or if he's like producing it.
Yeah, like, I like Jordan Peele's movies. Get Out was great. Definitely unique.
Mm-hmm.
I love that he does his own ideas, and he doesn't try to like do his own version of what's already been done.
Mm-hmm.
He comes up with like these complete left field ideas. Like Us, like nobody ever thought of a movie like Us before. And what I like about his movies is that years after they come out, you're still discovering like new theories and new ways of what this movie may have meant. You know what I'm saying? I think that's dope. Where he lost me though was Nope.
Really?
He lost me with Nope.
A lot of people are coming around on Nope.
Because I get it. I understood a lot of the concepts.
Yeah.
But I feel like it was a little bloated. Like you put way too many metaphors in there.
Okay.
It's like a lot of like unpacking.
The one, I'd say the ending didn't land for me for Nope. I do definitely want to go revisit, but
yeah,
I do think it's obviously his most beautiful looking movie though, for sure.
Yeah, it looked great.
Yeah.
But I understood a lot of it. A lot. I really did. Like, I understood a lot of the meaning behind it.
So that's another discourse too. I feel like when movies in general is when you understand something and you don't like it, but people will say that you don't like it because you don't understand it. And I've never got that. It's been a huge discourse around Joker 2 as well. I don't know. Have you seen Joker 2?
No, I heard too many bad things about it.
So again,
like Halloween Ends. People say,
that's enough.
You don't like it because you don't get it. No, I do get it, and it's fucking stupid.
Thank you.
I get it. I'm here. Yeah, I'm right here with you. But it's dumb.
Oh my. I went off on a rant about that movie when it came out, and just like, you don't understand. You don't like it because you don't understand. I'm like, bro, I understand it. That doesn't mean I don't have to like something if I understand it.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, that shit pissed me off so much.
Yeah.
But back to Jordan Peele. Yeah, no. So Get Out, Us, Nope. I mean, it's definitely three. Like in terms of your first three movies, it's definitely solid slate.
Yeah,
for
sure. He was even an executive producer on the 2021 Candyman, which also, in my opinion, is a ugly duckling.
Do you think it's better than the original? I'm a big fan of the original. I haven't seen the 2021 one.
I'm gonna be real with you. I think the 2021 Candyman is extremely underrated.
Really?
Like, I mean, extremely.
Because it did not get great reception. I remember that.
It didn't.
That's kind of why I didn't see it. So now
a lot of remakes and reboots get bad reps because they're attached to the original.
Yeah.
But if you separate them and just look at them for what they are, you realize they're not as bad as what you think.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's like, if they were just had a different title.
Yeah, because you consistently look. Yeah, like because when you watching a new one, you're consistently thinking about the old one. Like, oh, they didn't do that or they didn't do this. Yeah. Unless it's a movie like Hellraiser 2022 that absolutely fucking sucked. But don't piss me off.
Yeah, no, Get Out was definitely just like, I feel like that movie took the world by storm too.
Yeah, it did.
And I remember my friends, coming home after seeing that movie in theater and just like, because I didn't get to see that movie in theater. And I was kind of pissed that I didn't for that experience.
The theater experience, bro.
I know.
For that movie was crazy.
Yeah. That's
especially
what I heard.
At the end when the cop came.
Yes.
That hit different for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, no.
Uh-huh.
I know what's going to happen now.
Mm-hmm.
But when it was his homeboy, I was like, hell yeah. That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, that was a great theater experience. It really was. That was a great theater experience.
Well, and they have that alternate ending too that they didn't put out, thankfully. That would have been a completely different feeling for that ending.
Yeah.
That's a solid 3. And then moving on, I like this guy a lot. Robert Eggers. which his slate right now, we got catalog with The Witch, The Lighthouse, The Northman, and Nosferatu coming out this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I got big hopes for Nosferatu. I don't know about you. Yeah,
I do too. I like that they kind of. I like that they're going back to the Universal monsters because we got the new Wolfman coming out too. So we got Wolfman, we got the Nosferatu coming out. Somebody needs. I need somebody to do Creature from the Black Lagoon.
James Wan is.
He is?
No bullshit. Yes, James Wan.
Oh, yes. That should be gas.
I think he's slated to do Creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's gonna be fucking fire.
Because if I looked up James Wan on Letterboxd and
it's one of those like in production kind of things.
And it was under the
that's
under
dope.
the director part too.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Let me see. James Wan, director. Yeah, Creature from the Black Lagoon upcoming. Yeah. So that should be really good too.
Yeah.
I definitely have big hopes for Nosferatu. I think it could end up being my favorite movie of 2024. Do you have a best movie of 2024 so far? Just period?
Period? Ooh.
Or like favorite one?
I didn't see quite a few. Bad Boys Ride or Die. Huge Bad Boys fan.
Okay.
I love that franchise.
It's been consistent.
Yeah. Consistent. Godzilla Kong.
Okay.
That was a wild ride. Smile 2. Terrifier 3. I'm 1,000% certain there's something that I'm missing, but I've seen too many movies this year. I can't really.
It's hard to keep track of.
It really is.
I'd still say Dune Part 2 is definitely my number one movie. But I do think Nosferatu could somehow surpass it. I don't know if it will.
Yeah, I got high hopes for that.
Yeah.
Honestly, I really do.
With like the whole production designs, everything. Because that's one thing I do love about Robert Eggers is his production design.
Yeah.
And the sets.
The cinematography.
Yeah.
Like The Witch. Oh my God, bro. I love that movie.
I love it too. I saw it for the first time last year and I was like,
yeah,
whoa.
The Witch. Yeah, that was, he was in his bag with that one. The Lighthouse in his bag. You know what I'm saying? So like I trust his, and honestly, if you look at The Witch and the Lighthouse and like kind of combine them, that's kind of what I see for Nosferatu. That kind of old
like period piece
kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want like a modern Nosferatu. It's not. You know what I'm saying? I want the classic Nosferatu, and I feel like Robert Eggers is like the perfect person to do that. Honestly,
I agree, and I feel like honestly, I think the period pieces are coming back around too because Christopher Nolan. I don't know how true it is, but it was reporting by Discussing Film that he was going to do a vampire period piece in the 1920s with Tom Holland and Matt Damon, and then you have Ryan Coogler's vampire movie coming out as well.
I can't wait for that. Yeah. Sinners. I can't wait for that one.
So it seems like the period pieces are coming back.
Yeah.
And of all people, Robert Eggers, I do trust.
Yeah, I trust
to deliver
him with
on
that.
that.
I trust him with that.
Yeah, because I was even on our episode last year, we were talking about The Witch and how the production design, even with when they were building the set, how they would smelt the nails down like they would in the 1600s just to get that accuracy. And I'm like, that's
one of my
crazy.
favorite things about The Witch was how accurate the dialect was.
Yeah.
Like he actually, like the way they talked, they talked from that period. It wasn't like it was set back then, but they talking like us. You know what I'm saying? Like it was like.
It was a lot of research that went into that.
Yeah. Like you could tell that care went into that movie, thought and feeling. And I appreciated that for real.
Yeah. And then, Anya Taylor-Joy, Ralph Ineson, his voice is crazy.
I like that movie.
Yeah.
I really do.
And the cast for Nosferatu looks stacked as well. Because you got Ralph Ineson, you got
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, Skarsgård is Nosferatu. Willem Dafoe, Aaron Taylor Johnson, Lily Rose Depp.
When you say Willem Dafoe, I'm like already kind of sold. Like as soon as it's certain names when I hear them, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to see that.
Yeah,
I'm going to see it.
He's been in so many movies this year too already. And then him in The Lighthouse, he was fucking.
And
him and Robert Pattinson was crazy in The Lighthouse.
My Batman, Robert Pattinson. Is
that your favorite Batman?
That's my boy.
Yeah.
Batman 2022 is fucking classic, bro.
Do you like it more? Are you a big Dark Knight guy?
Not really.
Really? Okay.
I like Joker.
The 2019 Joker?
No, I like Joker in the Dark Knight.
Heath Ledger's Joker?
I honestly, I was always a fan of Christian Bale's Bruce Wayne, but not really his Batman. I hate that voice, dude. I hate his bat voice.
You don't like it?
I hate his cowl.
It gets worse as the franchise go on. Like, I don't mind it in Batman Begins, actually.
No,
I think it's good in Batman
it works.
Begins. But it starts to get a little deeper and a little more raspy.
A little more forced. And
Yeah, the Batman. I got to go back and revisit that. Have you been watching The Penguin?
Mm-hmm. Peak television.
I've heard that's really good.
The MCU could never make a show like that.
I can agree to that.
The MCU can never make a show like that. And I love MCU.
I love Loki. I thought that show was good. I love, what else did we like? Did like Moon Knight. But I see what you mean, how they still can't make a show like that because they just wouldn't.
Yeah, they just wouldn't.
Yeah,
they just wouldn't do it.
What do you think about Ben Affleck's Batman? We're getting off topic.
Fire.
Thank you.
Fire. Batfleck, fucking fire, bro.
Thank you.
Fire, bro.
Man.
What are you talking about? That motherfucker, what? A unit. That man, don't get me started on Batfleck, bro. Let's move on to the next subject, man.
I've been trying to say this for years, man.
Yeah, Batfleck, yeah, he's the guy.
People call me crazy.
No, they called you a madman.
They did.
But they should have listened.
He's a fucking unit, man.
Yeah.
Brick shithouse. And I fucking love Batfleck's costume design as well.
Love it too.
Gorgeous. All right. Moving on from Batfleck. But yeah, Robert Eggers, absolutely 3 for 3. And I think he'll go 4 for 4 with Nosferatu. I'm really looking forward to that. And I think could be a big contender when I think of best modern horror directors.
Yeah.
Next guy I have on the list, though, Mike Flanagan, which I think Mike Flanagan is maybe the least talked about on this list, in my opinion.
You want to know why?
Why?
Because he shines through television.
He does.
Not through cinema, in my opinion.
You're right.
Because
I think his best work is
Hill House.
His shows.
Yeah, you got Hill House, Midnight Mass,
Yes.
Bly Manor.
Yes.
What was the one with the kids?
Well, there's Fall of the House of the Usher as well.
That one too.
Mhm.
It was another one. It was on Netflix.
Was it?
It had like hella jump scares. I will never forget that.
Yeah, and then Dr. Sleep,
Yeah.
Hush, Gerald's Game, Ouija Origins of Evil.
Which was the
better one.
The better one.
Yes,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
he Mike Flanagan, he got TV and cinema.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I forgot he did Hush.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I feel like
so-
a lot of people do not talk about Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, no, he
And I think since more people, I think, are watching Haunting of the Hill House, my personal favorite is Midnight Mass from him. But I mean, I love all the TV shows.
yeah, Hill House, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is, in my opinion, the greatest horror television media.
Mhm. Which wouldn't be a hot take. And
Ever
I
created.
think that is a take that people can agree on.
Because the thing with horror television is it's rarely scary for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Horror on TV is always like extremely watered down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I fucking
Yes.
I ain't gonna lie, I fucking hate American Horror Story.
Do you like any of the seasons? Because
My
I know there's
favorite-
a lot.
Coven was cool,
Okay.
and I liked Roanoke for the first half.
Which season was that?
That was when they were doing like they did like a reenactment kind of thing.
Was Lady Gaga on that one?
No, that one I don't forget. That was
That was a hotel.
that one.
okay.
Yeah. Roanoke was when it was like Cuba Gooding Jr. was in it.
Okay.
Angela Bassett was in it, I think.
Okay.
And they were doing it like those ghost story shows on like Travel Channel.
Yeah.
They kind of did it like that.
Okay.
I thought that was cool
Uh-huh.
for the first half,
Okay.
and then it lost me.
I've only seen seasons 1, 2, most of 3, which was the Coven one, and then
Murder House was cool. I think that was the first one.
The first one was Murder House. Second one was Asylum, which I enjoyed.
And the third one was Coven.
Third one was Coven, and then I skipped everything else, and then I watched the 1984 season because it was bringing the slasher. I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna watch that. 'Cause I'm a big slasher guy.
I had high hopes for that.
You didn't like it?
No.
I'd be curious what I thought about it upon a rewatch, but that came out in like 2019. So I was honestly pretty fresh into like loving the horror genre. So I was just a really big slasher guy. That's
Yeah.
probably why I liked it.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, there's a lot of seasons in there that I have not seen.
I don't even know what season we on now, to be honest.
I don't know. I think it's like 11 or 12.
Completely lost me.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Garrett's asked about Supernatural.
Oh, that show? Honestly, bro, I don't really watch it. My girl do.
He loves it. And our friend Berto as well loves it. And honestly, the more I've sat down and watched some episodes with our friend, I see why there's 15 seasons of it.
No, I get it. No. I've seen it, and I
Right.
definitely get it.
Right.
But I don't know. I got to dedicate myself to it.
Right.
You know what show I do like though? Evil.
Mm-hmm.
On Paramount.
Paramount, really.
It's basically like Criminal Minds, but for paranormal stuff.
Oh, okay.
It's a lady who's a non-believer.
With the guy who plays
Luke Cage.
Yeah, Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Luke Cage. Okay.
Good show. Yeah, I like it. It's like a Criminal Minds kind of
Okay.
It's like a horror Criminal Minds, pretty much. It's cool.
Evil, but I love Jensen Ackles. So I was like, I'm surprised I haven't gotten into Supernatural like that because I do love Jensen Ackles. And well, I mean,
Jensen Ackles, aka my fan cast for Arthur Morgan.
Correct. Yes, I agree.
Yeah,
shit.
My fan cast for Arthur Morgan for sure.
Do you think they'll touch that?
A Red Dead series, not a movie, a movie, but a Red Dead series
done right would go so fucking hard.
Chef kiss, dude. It's way too much story for a movie, especially Red Dead 2.
Yeah,
especially Red Dead 2.
It would go so fucking hard if they got the right casting too. Because people were talking about, have Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Dutch.
Yeah,
yeah. No, Red Dead 2 TV series. That's like one video game that I would be like, oh, I'm seated there. Because I didn't play The Last of Us.
Great.
Did you like the show?
I did.
The Haunted House wasn't that great at Halloween Horror Nights. What other?
I heard the Chucky one was terrible.
Yeah, Chucky one was ass. And was that one based off the series? I'd assume so. Like, why wouldn't they? I don't know. Yeah, I'm curious to see what goes in behind the scenes of like decisions that who makes the decisions to put what houses and like the design and everything. But
yeah,
because I feel like I'd have a ball coming up with some ideas for haunted houses.
Oh, I would. Don't let me. I would do a Grudge House.
Grudge House?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be good.
That the scariest movie of all time, bro.
We were asking Evan about that too.
The 2004 Grudge. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. If you're listening to me, I don't care what nobody says. The 2004 Grudge, in my opinion, is the scariest movie of all time. That shit scared the fuck out of me, dude. Bro, I slept in my room for 30 days with the lights on.
Really?
I was 13 when I first saw that movie. Kid you not, bro.
That'll do it to you.
Yeah.
For sure.
That movie did something to me. Changed me as a person.
See, not even movies did something to me. Like, people would bring up Bloody Mary, and that shit would do something to me. Like, they would play the game in the bathroom. Like, why the fuck are we playing Bloody Mary right now? She's gonna pop up. But back to Mike Flanagan, Dr. Sleep. Now, from what I've heard on your TikTok, you aren't a fan
of The Shining?
Of Kubrick's The Shining.
Don't like it. First of all, Stephen King didn't even like it.
Did you read the book?
I actually did.
Yeah, because I haven't. So,
and for once, I can honestly say, yeah, the book is. Yeah, I like the book. I love the book. Yeah. I don't really like the movie. What did Peter Griffin say in the episode? It insists upon itself.
We just talked about that episode when we went and saw Joker 2 of Family because we love Family Guy.
I feel like it insists upon itself.
Okay,
and I feel like people make that movie better than what the movie is. But again, that's just my opinion. You know, right. I ain't the end all be all. It's just I like Dr. Sleep better. I would say that.
So I think Dr. Sleep, what Mike Flanagan did with Dr. Sleep is really impressive because there was a lot at stake that he had to please in terms of fans. Like he had to make a movie that would, appease people who liked the Kubrick Shining. He had to appease people who liked the book.
Not
like
to mention
Stephen King's
Stanley Kubrick
book
was a piece of shit.
You're not wrong.
Yeah,
good filmmaker, but you're not wrong.
Miss Shelley Duvall didn't deserve that.
Yeah, that's wild.
I did a video called Horror Movie Roles that really fucked up the actors' minds, and everybody wanted me to cover Shelley Duvall's experience with The Shining, and I was kind of familiar with it, but I didn't really know all the way.
Yeah.
When I read into it,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You went through all of that for this piece of shit.
Losing hair and everything. And
yeah. Crazy.
Yeah, crazy. And that stairway scene was like 127 takes of that. I mean, I'd be going mad too.
For sure.
Yeah. Didn't Jennifer Lawrence, the mother, like fuck her up as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually just rewatched that movie the other night.
Okay.
Bro, listen, I could do a whole segment about that movie and the metaphors and the symbolism. But I don't want to make the religious people mad. So I'll just leave that out there.
See, but I think that's what makes a good horror movie too, is like the religious topics. And speaking of, well, let me finish with Dr. Sleep first, but I'll get back to that. But yeah, like he had a lot of people to appease with this, and I don't know how many people also were fans of the TV series from the 90s as well, The Shining, that Stephen King had more involvement in.
A lot of people say they like that better. I actually haven't seen it. To be honest, I don't even know where to find it. Probably on Tubi.
I know. Yeah, it's like
Everything's
it's
on
like one of
Tubi.
those things that's nowhere to be found, but Tubi's clutch. And yeah, I think he did a great job of like keeping everyone happy.
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, with the religious aspect, what you were talking about in horror films, I do think that is what makes a really interesting horror film. And it's funny because like Garrett, you know, he's not really a religious person, but the horror movies that intrigue him are like with the whole heaven and hell thing and the religious themes.
See, like possession movies, like Exorcist and all that. Yeah, those usually are pretty cool.
Yeah, but that's why I like Midnight Mass too a lot. Because like even if you aren't a religious person, it's still like there's a lot of themes in there just to like get you thinking in general. You know what I mean? So Mike Flanagan, I think, is definitely one that does not get brought up enough when we talk about great horror movie directors right now.
Yeah, I would definitely put him in my top 3.
Facts. Agree. Next, let's move to your guy, James Wan.
The GOAT.
So James Wan, man.
First of all, The Conjuring, Insidious, Saw. We have nothing else to discuss.
You would think so, but
like,
apparently we do. Yeah.
Come on, man.
I know.
You directed the first Saw, The Conjuring, and Insidious, and the most underrated movie of 2021, Malignant, that everybody either hates or loves. James Wan is great, man.
He's really mastered his element.
Yeah.
You know? And like, yeah, those first 3 you named, Saw, Insidious, The Conjuring, like all 3 of those turned into huge franchises. You know? And that just doesn't happen. Like, because the first one's got to be great.
Right.
And even Insidious, you look at the ratings of Insidious online, and it doesn't have like the best reception, which is kind of odd to me. Like I've always really enjoyed Insidious,
and I think what helps him is honestly his culture, because Asian horror movies are a different beast. I don't know if you like really tapped into that.
Not a whole lot, but I definitely have tried. Last year I did watch Train to Busan, which wasn't really like, you know, scary, but it was a movie too that made me bawl my eyes out at the end as well.
Yeah, like, dude, if you get into some Asian horror, man, they do it so different than we do in the States. Like their storytelling is different. Their the imagery is different. They have a really unique way of making you sympathize with the ghost.
Right.
Like you'll be watching a movie and you'll be like, damn, I feel bad for the motherfucker that's killing everybody. Like,
which was a huge theme. That's what I feel like America used to do. That was a huge theme with the Universal monsters. Yeah. Back when they first started in the 20s and the 30s.
Because you felt bad for Frankenstein. You felt bad for the Bride. You felt bad for the Creature from the Black Lagoon. Yes. You know what I'm saying? You felt bad for these creatures. And that's kind of what Asian horror movies do. Like the girl from The Ring, Sadako, she's a victim. You know, Kayoko from The Grudge, she's a victim.
Right.
You know, these were people that were harmed in their real life by humans. And now that they're vengeful spirits, their whole mission is to fuck up humans. Right. And you realize that they wouldn't be that way had it not been for what they experienced when they were alive. So Asian horror movies just have a different execution. Yeah. When it comes to how they do it. It's not just stab, kill, jump scare, loud noise. It's a lot of It's different. It's a different realm.
Although James Wan is great at jump scares.
He is great at jump scares. So he mixes them two very well. Like I can look at some of his movies and tell that he studies the movies of his culture, but he also studies the movies of the States, and he kind of combines them really well.
Well, I think the sound design in his movies are great.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
The sound design of the first Conjuring will scare the shit out of you, if anything.
Yes. Yeah, I just rewatched that the other week, and I hadn't seen that movie in years. But I always would say like, oh yeah, The Conjuring, it's not like that scary. I went back and rewatched that. I was wrong. It's like, this is fucking scary.
No, I consider that movie to be our generation's The Exorcist.
I could agree with that.
It's our generation's The Exorcist. It doesn't help the fact that it literally came out 40 years apart. Right. 73 to 2013. So I consider The Conjuring to be like our generation's The Exorcist.
Speaking of The Exorcist, Mike Flanagan is slated to do a remake of The Exorcist as well. Interesting. And he said it's going to be his scariest project yet.
But wait. We talking remake of the original?
Yes.
Are we going that whole Exorcist believer bullshit that was supposed to be a trilogy?
No, I think it's the remake.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's get rid of that.
What, Exorcist Believer?
Because you remember it was supposed to be a trilogy.
Yes.
It was like Exorcist Believer, then it was supposed to be like Exorcist Deceiver.
And all directed by David Gordon Green.
I don't know. Why would you trust him?
I don't know. Like 2018 Halloween, cool.
Bars.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Even Halloween Kills, I'm cool with. Whatever.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
Right.
I don't love it.
Right.
I'm cool with it.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I let it, it's like Halloween H2O.
Mhm.
All right, I'll let it slide. But Halloween ends.
Yeah. And it's like, cool, he did that trilogy.
Yeah.
You don't think we want someone else to maybe attack another franchise? Like, why are we going to get the same guy to attack two iconic horror franchises?
What is he, the trilogy reboot guy or something? Like, don't give it to somebody else.
It's not like this man's name got cachet of James Wan.
Yeah, I wasn't really
Yeah, but James Wan, back to like the jump scares, a lot of people would consider jump scares cheap horror. Do you agree with that statement?
No.
Thank you. I'm glad we're agreeing a lot today.
No, there's no. First of all, as a person who is numb to horror movies, I need jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
I need something to make me feel it.
Yeah.
Because
get that adrenaline going.
Yeah, I need something to get that adrenaline going. I think jump scares are great because sometimes it can, when the story's kind of dull,
mm-hmm.
You need something to kind of like re-engage.
Yeah, it's different. It's different if the story itself is scary, but if it's not.
Yeah, you need that in your face kind of thing to make it work. Like you can't say jump scares in horror movies are cheap,
mm-hmm.
but say, oh, I love going to Halloween Horror Nights. So you like jump scares.
True. Yeah.
I hate jump scares in horror movies, but you like going to haunted houses.
Mm-hmm.
So you do like jump scares. Because what is Halloween Horror Nights in a haunted house is just literally a shit ton of jump scares.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think it's all about how you do the jump scares. Like jump scares can be done very well, which I think James Wan has absolutely mastered.
Yeah.
He has mastered the form of jump scare.
And if you want to scare somebody in real life, like say you playing a prank on your girlfriend, what's the best way to scare her? A jump scare.
Yeah.
Pop out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It works. You know what I'm saying? No one complains about jump scares in horror games.
True.
Five Nights at Freddy's built a whole franchise strictly off jump scares.
Mm-hmm.
Then you got copycats like Poppy Playtime, jump scares, which my daughter loves, by the way. That little girl loves Five Nights at Freddy's and Poppy Playtime. She's like 5, bro, and she like knows all the Five Nights at Freddy's characters.
Yeah, see, that would have never been me.
Yeah, it's kind of my fault anyway. Yeah, it's literally my fault. Like it's literally my fault.
Like it's okay if you don't like jump scares, but when you want to go ahead and call it a cheap form of scares, I'm like, well, I don't think you're looking at it the right way then.
Right.
Because it can be done very well.
Yeah, it can be done extremely well.
He's got great atmosphere.
One of the best horror movie opening scores, title screens, in my opinion, is Insidious.
Mm-hmm.
When the word Insidious popped up on the screen that loud, it's like, oh yeah, this shit's finna be fucking wild. And I love movies that when they do that, they say, I love a movie. I love when a horror movie opens up and you just know it's finna be fucking crazy. Evil Dead 2013 opened up like that. Insidious opened up like that. I love how The Conjuring opened up with the little Star Wars word scrolling, and then like the closer it got to the word The Conjuring, the louder the little ominous noise in the background got. That was peak cinema.
And I haven't seen Evil Dead Rise, but I have seen the title card. I'm like,
that
it goes fucking hard. Yeah.
Bro.
It's just those movies where you know you're about to lock in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And then even Saw. Have you made your way through all the Saw movies?
Yes. It's been a long time since I've seen anything between Saw 2 and Saw X.
Okay.
Saw 1 and Saw 2, I have the most vivid memory of because I watched those the most. Saw X, of course, was the most recent one, so it's still in my brain. But anything after that, I kind of don't really.
I've only made it up to 3 because with me, I've always not been with like gore as well, but I've gotten a lot better. Like the Terrifier movies actually don't really bother me that much, and I think it has to do with Art the Clown being a fucking silly ass clown. But yeah, the third one, I'm like, oh, these traps are starting to get pretty intense. But I really like the first 2 Saw movies a lot.
I love, bro. Saw 1 is excellent because it plays out more like a movie like Seven.
Like a mystery.
Like, more like a crime mystery. I feel like that's kind of where the Saw movies really shined at the most. after a while, you can tell it kind of just really became about the traps.
Right.
And like, that's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of what I'm fearful of the Terrifier franchise. Like, I don't want it to get to the point where it's just about Art killing people and there's like no backstory, no plot. Like, okay, what are we doing here?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because even with Terrifier 3, I think that's why I do like Terrifier 2 more, is because I think Art's screen time was played out better. 3, there's definitely a lot more screen time of Art the Clown. And I mean, that's what people are going to the movies for, is for Art.
Mm-hmm.
But I was telling him, it's like, well, if you show too much of Art the Clown, then it kind of dilutes like when he is on screen.
Yeah.
Or like his scare factor when he's on screen. Because in 2, when he pops up, it's like, oh shit, you know it's about to go down.
Exactly. You know it's going to happen. Because here's the thing. A lot of people don't know this. Guess how long Freddy Krueger was on screen in the original Nightmare on Elm Street?
Oh, isn't it like
7 minutes?
Yeah.
That's it.
Uh-huh.
Out of that entire... He became an icon with 7 minutes of screen time.
Yeah.
You ain't got to be in every scene, bro. Because after a while, it just kind of becomes a gimmick. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, and then he became...
You want to anticipate the killer on screen. You don't want to be like, oh, there he goes again. Like,
yeah.
And that's kind of what I started to feel with Terrifier 3. It was just kind of like, oh, there's again. Oh,
right.
Oh, okay. Chainsaw through the asshole. That's crazy. Sorry, spoilers if you ain't seen it, but that's what happened. You know what I'm saying?
We kind of went into details of the kills on last episode, and one of our Patreon members on Discord, she was like, yeah, I was thinking about going to see Terrifier 3, but then I was listening to your guys' descriptions about the kills, and I was like, no, actually, I'm not going to go see it.
Like, don't let me deter you, please.
Yeah. But no, it gets pretty crazy.
Who we got
Terrifier
next?
3. Next, we got Ari Aster. Interesting
Midsommar, Hereditary, Beau is Afraid.
Yes.
Beau is Afraid was a big what the fuck, so I'm not going to talk about that.
Okay. So let's stick with Hereditary and Midsommar. I actually just watched Midsommar last week for the first time.
You ever seen Wicker Man from 1973?
No.
Watch Wicker Man.
From 19 when?
73, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Either 73 or 76, one of them two.
From 73.
I think it's 73. Watch Wicker Man.
Okay.
It's pretty much like Midsommar.
Okay.
Just don't watch the 2006 remake. Don't watch that bullshit.
Okay. I think I saw your
watch the original Wicker Man. It'll definitely remind you. You'll see the inspiration.
Yeah.
That Midsommar got from that movie.
It's funny on Letterboxd when I went to go log Midsommar and just how different the opinions were, or different the ratings were from my Letterboxd friends. Like, I'd see 5-star, half a star, 4 stars, 2 stars.
Yeah, it's extremely divisive.
Yeah.
It's very divisive. Like the Smile movies are very divisive. There are people who love him, people who hate it.
Yeah.
You know, Midsommar was... I just love when a horror movie is unique and different because it's so many of the same goddamn movies. So when a horror movie comes in with a fresh original idea, even if it's not executed the way I would like, I will always appreciate the fact that it was unique and different. You know, and Midsommar, even though it's kind of like the new age Wicker Man, it was still very different. You know, I like the themes about it. You know, the girl was mistreated by her boyfriend. He hated her. Like, you know,
probably gets the vote for worst boyfriend in the movie.
Yeah, like worst. Horrible person. And like he didn't pay her no attention. He treated her like shit. She was lonely. She was bored. You know what I'm saying? And then she meets this community of people, and it just kind of goes to show you like how desperate people are for acceptance. Right. That's what the theme of that movie was, in my opinion. Yeah. Like how far people will go to be accepted and be loved by somebody. And that's what she did. She found this weird ass cult and was just like, I have nothing back home. Fuck it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Might as well.
Yeah. and I think that's the reason why the one character, what's his name? Peele, who brought them there, their Swedish friend that brought them there. And there was a line he said in the beginning of the movie where he was like especially excited that he found out that she was coming, because I think he then knew, because she was such a broken down person, had nothing left, had no family, had no hope.
That it would be good for her.
Yes. Yeah. And that she would be an easy target to like bring into this cult, you know? And what I liked about it too is obviously the concept and like the whole cult thing is scary, but I mean, this movie takes place all during the day and it still had me scared.
Bro, you know what's fucking crazy? I just realized that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've seen that movie at least 4 times, bro. I never realized that the whole movie is set during the day. That's crazy.
There's like one scene at night. That's it.
Wow.
The rest of it's during the day.
That's wow.
Right.
Damn. Shout out to Midsommar.
Hereditary. Were you a fan of Hereditary?
I love Hereditary.
Okay.
It's one of those movies though that I can't rewatch too much.
Right.
Because if I keep rewatching it, I'll be like, this ain't as good as I thought it was.
Mhm.
So I just kind of like try to keep the what's the word? The novelty. I try to keep the novelty by watching it very few times. But yeah, it's still my favorite horror movie of 2018.
Okay.
I definitely liked Hereditary.
I feel like Hereditary is one that comes in conversation for like greatest modern horror movie, or like a lot of people.
It's kind of been like the standard for modern horror, honestly.
I feel like that's when the discourse started around of like elevated horror. That's a whole other thing as well.
A24 has been a thorn in my ass because not because of them, because of the divisiveness of the fans.
Because of a whole new fan base.
There are a lot of horror fans who feel like their taste is better because they like the elevated, deep themed horror films,
right?
And my opinion is better than you with your slashers and your gore,
right?
Like, no, you're not.
Yeah,
you're actually a pompous jackass. But you know,
A24 diehards are pretentious.
Yeah, very. And there's another studio that's on the come up that's basically A24 Part 2. Neon. See, we're here.
We're here.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because Neon makes a lot of, okay, what the fuck is this movie actually about?
Right.
Like Cuckoo.
Has Neon done Cuckoo? Did they do the Substance and Long Legs? Did they do Substance?
I don't know if they did Substance, but I know they did Long Legs and they did Cuckoo. They did It Lives Inside last year. That was one of those movies that was almost good. Like, it was almost fire. Like, you had it.
Yeah.
You had the concept, but you didn't go all the way.
I think that's how I kind of felt about the Substance. Is like, it had potential to be great, but it was ironic. I think the Substance needed more substance. Yeah. But yeah, Hereditary is definitely one that gets brought up with like best horror movies of 21st century.
I will say though, Toni Collette, the greatest acting performance in a horror film.
That's your favorite one? That's one?
Out of all horror, that is the greatest acting performance.
And not even a nomination. Which is crazy. That's a huge discussion.
Same thing, Mia Goth and Pearl.
Yeah.
Oh my God. She's another one of my favorite performances in a horror film, but we'll get to that when we do Ty West.
Yes, for sure.
Because Ty West is in my top 3.
And he's that's the director next. But yeah, that's a huge thing too, is like, that's also why I love the horror genre as well. It's just, it still thrives without getting the acceptance from the award shows, the academies, and all that.
It will forever be the underdog.
Yeah.
Horror movies will always be the underdog.
Always.
No matter how great they are.
Right. Because there's so many performances and so many movies that deserve these awards. And that's why I was so happy when Jordan Peele won an Oscar for Best Original Script as well. Right. I'm like, at least some recognition.
And no film other than Marvel and Star Wars builds a cult following like horror films.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong about that, actually.
Yeah. Think about it, outside of Star Wars and Marvel, no other films have a freaking cult following like that. Like, there's whole horror conventions.
Yeah.
Like the dudes who made the Killer Clowns movie, they still do horror cons.
Yes.
For a movie they made in 1988 with no sequel.
Yep.
And they still get fans that come out in droves and cosplay doing autographs. That's great. For one movie.
I love that. Just takes one.
Just take one movie.
Yeah. Next director, Ty West.
Go
ahead, say it.
My motherfucking guy.
X, Pearl, Maxine, VHS. I saw that there was multiple directors for VHS. So yeah.
It's multiple like segments. So like, The Sacrament and The Innkeepers. The Sacrament is actually my favorite Ty West movie. It was basically the story of Jim Jones, the drinking the Kool-Aid, that cult. He basically made a movie that was inspired by that whole situation.
Oh, okay. When did that come out?
2013.
Okay.
2013 is probably the greatest year for modern horror as a collective. So many bangers came out that year. That's when
the Evil Dead one came out as well, right? Yeah.
There's so many bangers came out that year.
Conjuring. Oh shit, you're kind of right.
Ready or Not. Not Ready or Not. You're Next came out in 2013. Sacrament was great. X, I didn't like it when I first saw it. But after I watched Pearl, I loved Pearl. So it made me go back and rewatch X. And I was like, oh, I like this. I didn't like it at first. But after watching Pearl and then going back, I was like, yeah, I rock with this.
I loved X from the first watch, but like you said, after watching Pearl, it made me kind of just love X even more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pearl is fantastic as well.
Yeah, I love Pearl. That was a great movie.
Like some fucking horror Wizard of Oz
Yeah.
type movie.
Mhm.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And the color.
Yes. Yeah. The
They use
Technicolor.
some kind of different film or something.
Yeah. Yeah. They tried to make it like that Technicolor.
Yeah, it
Mhm.
was beautifully shot. Maxine,
How we feel about Maxine?
I liked it. I just feel like my expectations were too high. And that's my fault. That's not the movie's fault.
Mine were crazy high.
Yeah.
So
I feel like sometimes it's not the movie that we don't like. I just feel like we expect too much.
I mean, I did expect a lot, but again, I'm expecting a lot from Nosferatu and expecting that to deliver. I don't know. That was my most anticipated movie for the year was Maxine, and
Yeah.
I just wasn't a fan of the third act at all.
Mm-mm.
I wasn't.
I didn't like that. I didn't like
With her dad and everything. Like, I think the themes are cool, but just the way that it was executed,
Mhm.
I was not a fan of.
and I don't understand what was the point of them like mentioning the Night Stalker so much in the promotion and the
Right.
trailers. Is like
Right.
he why was that like a
Right.
main point?
Because I was really excited too, because Ty West said it was going to pay a lot of homage to the giallo genre
Yeah.
of horror, and a big part of that is the mystery aspect of who this killer is. But
Yep.
usually with that genre, it's someone that we see on screen, like they're right in front of our face, but we have no idea.
Yeah.
We've never seen this fucking dad besides a TV in
Right.
X. So like we have no idea or no connection to Maxine's father in no
Yeah.
way. So like that reveal just felt so
like
lackluster.
revealing him as the big bad when it was just like I kind of liked it better when Maxine was like this orphan figure where she just had no family and it was just her
Mm-hmm.
trying to make it on her own merit. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? I like that a lot better.
Because I was really enjoying when it was playing on the whole, Hollywood aspect of it as well. And I was like, well, shit, maybe the killer is going to be this director or like this actor on set who is maybe upset at Maxine for coming up in the limelight in this industry, coming from, the porn
Yeah.
industry as well. So like maybe she's got beef with that. And I don't know, there was
Honestly-
just so many other avenues that you could have taken.
Honestly, I thought it was gonna go the whole Pearl route because Mia Goth played both Pearl and Maxine,
Mhm.
right? And the whole point of that was because they were essentially the same person. They both wanted to be a star,
Mm-hmm.
and they both would do anything to be a star. Even if you look at the movies in its chronological layout, it reads Pearl X Maxine,
Mm-hmm.
and X is usually represented for like and. So like Pearl and Maxine. That's
Right.
kind of how the movies played out. And I'm thinking like just like in Pearl, how she wanted to be a star, she was a good girl, and then after she got so frustrated with not making it in life, she just snapped and just started killing motherfuckers. I thought that was what's gonna happen to Maxine.
With Maxine.
I thought Maxine was gonna go out to Hollywood. She was gonna try to do her thing. She was gonna try to be more than just a porn star, and people would only see her as this porn star. And
Because she was very confident she was going to be a star
and
as
then,
well.
and eventually she was just gonna be like, all right, I'm sick of this shit.
Yeah.
You're dead. You're dead. You're dead.
Uh-huh.
So I thought that Maxine was going to end up being basically like Pearl.
Okay.
And she was going to be having scenes where she's looking in the mirror and she sees Pearl and like, I'm better than you. And
Yeah.
like, no, you are me. Like, that's kind of what I was thinking Maxine was going to be.
Mhm.
But then it ended up being her dad was a cult leader
Yeah.
who tried to kill her.
Yeah.
Do you know how great of a movie Maxine would have been had it been a play on Pearl?
Yeah.
It would have
Or
basically been
anything-
Pearl, but set in the 80s. She's
anything
trying to make
else.
it in Hollywood. She's trying to be more than a porn star. No one wants her to be more than a porn star. So
Mhm.
she loses it. And she just said, I'm finna kill all you motherfuckers. Yeah, or if it was her doing the killings and it was like, oh, wait, it wasn't him.
Uh-huh.
That was her doing that. Like she was using his murders to cover up her murders.
Yeah.
That would have been cool too. But
There's so many different avenues that I
Hey.
could have taken.
unfortunately, the movie's out now. You know, we can do about it.
Unfortunately, we're not Hollywood writers, essentially.
Should be.
You got any scripts?
I'm working on one now, actually.
Nice. That's what I want to try to do is try to get some like short horror scripts in there at
Yeah.
some point. It's a process for sure. VHS, that is one franchise that I haven't quite gotten into yet. But again, I think that is one that is, from what I've seen, is met with mixed reviews as well.
Yeah. Everyone loves the first two universally.
Uh-huh.
After that, it's kind of when you start going into like personal preference territory
Yeah.
because I think the third one was VHS Viral. I hated it.
Okay.
That shit was ass, dude. VHS 94, I rock with that one.
Mm-hmm.
VHS 99, however, don't rock with that one. VHS 85 was cool. VHS Beyond, the one that came out this year, I like that one. I think that one's top 3 in the whole franchise.
It's funny how some of them start to get better. Like I've heard Hell House Origins, the 4th one, and that one is pretty good. I made my way through 3.
It was I forgot one. It was like Hell House LLC.
There's the first one, LLC. Then there's the second one, which is the Abaddon Hotel.
Yeah.
And then the third one was like Lake of Fire.
Yeah. And then it was Origins.
Yeah. Then
Origins
was good. Yeah. And that's what I've heard.
Yeah. Origins was good.
But yeah, Ty West is definitely, he's become one of my favorite directors as well.
Yeah. You got to watch Sacrament, dude.
Yeah. I got to add that to the watch list.
It's shot in like a found footage kind of thing. It's about this dude, this guy and his friends.
Yeah.
They're going to this remote place to find his sister because they didn't know where his sister went. And they got there and found out that his sister joined the fucking cult. And yeah,
I'll add that to the watch list.
Yeah, you got to add it to the watch list.
All right. Just for time's sake, I'll probably bring up one more director. Because I wrote down Julia, but also I wrote down Scott Derrickson as well, who did Sinister, The Black Phone, and The Exorcism of Emily Rose. Apparently, Hellraiser Inferno too.
Yeah, we're not gonna mention that one.
Yeah, there's a few movies in there like Sinister I really enjoyed,
and Doctor Strange.
He did do Doctor Strange.
It's actually hilarious that both the Doctor Strange movies were directed by horror directors.
They were. You're not wrong. I feel like that's the case for a lot of things. It's like the horror directors, they end up, like we said earlier, horror. For every genre, there's a horror aspect in there.
Yeah, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness definitely should have been a horror Marvel.
Yeah,
but that's another conversation.
Yeah, no, they could have dived real deep into that. Sinister was one that I watched this year because that was on every list for like scariest movies according to science.
I have no clue why.
Do you find it that scary?
No.
I think it's scary, but I do not think it is number 1 scariest movie according to science worthy. I think Hell House scared me more, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it though. Blumhouse movie, I believe, which I was kind of shocked. It was like one of the earlier Blumhouse movies.
Yeah.
Music was good. The Black Phone, I wasn't.
I liked that movie.
You liked it. I wasn't a huge fan of the ending. I really was enjoying it for like the first half, and then it kind of lost me at the end.
Yeah, it's always the third act, man.
Yeah, it's always the third act. It's kind of hard to pull it off.
Yeah, because sometimes you be telling a great story, you just don't know how to end it.
So
you just end up doing shit.
Yeah, the house was pretty cool at Halloween Horror Nights, but again, it wasn't scary though.
Was it Sinister House?
Or no, Black Phone House.
Black Phone House. Okay,
yeah, Black Phone House.
How do you do that?
It was interesting. It was a lot of sets. And then Ethan Hawke's character, there was a lot of him in the mask. There was one room where you did have to walk in the kitchen when he's sitting down and it looks like he's sleeping. But in the haunted house, you don't know if it's a real person or not.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting walking by that. But yeah, it wasn't like that scary as a house. It was more cool.
What's a Halloween Horror Nights house you think they should have?
Shit, I mean, they could do...
I would love an Evil Dead house.
They could easily do that.
Evil Dead. Have the Necronomicon words playing. And yeah.
I think within the next few years, they could do a Terrifier house, in my opinion.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know. They've done quite a few in the past that I was just too young for that I wish I could have seen. Like they did a Trick or Treat house one year. It's like, damn, that would have been cool to see.
Oh yeah, that must have been back in like 2009.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But I'm surprised now I'm thinking about it because I don't even think, was that movie released in theaters?
Trick or Treat? No, it wasn't actually.
Yeah.
No.
And they did a haunted house.
It just gained a cult following because of Sam.
Yeah.
And
yeah, interesting. So I feel like there's definitely a lot of movies they could do.
But if you want to talk about Julia for directors,
I can let you talk about Julia.
I mean, she got Titane and Raw.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Raw is considered one of the best modern body horror films. That movie was fucking crazy. Titane, I want to know what's wrong with her mentally. Why would you make that concept? Unfortunately, you ain't seen it, so I can't really tell you what happened.
Right.
But
so is she more body horror?
Okay, for
Okay.
sure. From what I've seen, she's like a female Cronenberg.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got
she's like a girl Cronenberg. You can tell
That
like
says enough right there.
yeah, you can tell she definitely got inspired by David and Brandon Cronenberg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, those are two that I've added to the watch list. I just haven't been able to get around to it.
Oh,
yet.
Yeah. Listen, I can give you one hell of a watch list, bro.
Please do, because I feel like spooky season is not enough time to like get through all of what I'm trying to get through, man.
Hell no.
No. But all right, so there's our list of some great modern horror movie directors. Who is the best modern horror movie director out of who we just listed?
Honestly, bro, because he has both television and movies, I gotta go with Mike Flanagan, bro.
Whoa. I was gonna say Mike Flanagan too.
I gotta go Mike because, again, I love James Wan, but you're really looking at Saw, Conjuring, Insidious, but just movies. But Mike Flanagan has Hush, which is a movie, but he also has Hill House, which is a show. So he's shown that he can execute his film. He's shown that he can execute his directing in long form with series and in a movie. So it's like you got both aspects, and not everybody else on that list really has.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if I did my top three, it would be Mike Flanagan, James Wan, Ty West. That's my top three.
Okay. I would go for top three for me. I would go Mike Flanagan, maybe Mike Flanagan, James Wan, and Robert Eggers. Am I leaving Jordan Peele out there? Flanagan, I think you got to go Wan just because he's got the stats to back it up.
Yeah.
And then personally for me, Robert Eggers, maybe slightly above Jordan Peele. But back to what you're saying about Flanagan and like how he's done both TV and movies that's the thing too, is he's shown that he's a great storyteller as well.
Yeah.
And he's able to give us characters and a story that you could really care for as well, on top of scaring you. So I think Mike Flanagan is a good choice. I agree. And I think he's one that just doesn't get talked about enough.
Yeah, he's the guy for sure.
All right. There you have it. Mike Flanagan to the conclusion of greatest modern horror director. I'm glad we ended up on Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, I gotta go Mike.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, going into this, it was James. But then when we started talking about Mike, I was like,
Right.
you know, that boy's good.
Yeah.
He's good. I gotta go with Mike, man.
Oh, man. All right. So let's finish off this episode with some segments and some fun games as well for y'all. I know you want to talk about overrated horror takes or like any hot takes. So you want to start with that? Some hot takes?
Yeah, we can do some hot takes.
Okay. So what are some horror hot takes that you're known for?
Horror hot takes that I have been holding on to for a long time. Just because it's, like I said, just because it's old don't mean it's better.
Okay.
You know, I need a lot of the horror community to come to terms with the fact that a lot of our classic horror films didn't age that well. That doesn't take away the fact that they're classic movies, but it's okay to say that a newer one is just as good or is better. For example, you cannot look at Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie and say that that's not a fucking fire-ass movie.
I got to revisit that one. I'm not going to lie.
It's good. Halloween 2018, fantastic film. I would put that up there with the original one. And that's okay.
What is your number one Halloween movie?
My number one Halloween movie?
Yeah.
The original one.
Okay.
Just because like I said, it's that.
I think that's one that's aged well still.
Yeah, I think that one aged well. But honestly, bro, my most rewatched Halloween movie, I'm going on record saying this, Halloween Resurrection.
You know, and
that is the most fun Halloween movie.
I saw you put that in your top 5 for the Halloween franchise.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yeah. Heck yeah, man. Dude, it's fun, bro. I like that movie. It's like Scream, but Halloween.
Busta Rhymes.
Busta Rhymes beat the shit out of Michael Myers, bro. Come on, dude. What are you talking about, bro? That's just cool as hell.
I'm supposed to be Michael Myers.
Right. I love that movie. It's a lot of movies that I like that people think is that, you know, everybody has their own taste. Another horror hot take that I have, Friday the 13th Part 2 is the best one in the franchise.
Is that a hot take?
Part 2, Pillowcase Jason.
That's a hot take?
Yeah.
Really?
Part 2, before I always say Pillowcase Jason is the best Jason, not hockey mask Jason.
Yeah.
Jason with the dirty overalls and the pillowcase with the one eyeball out. Scary as shit.
Yeah, because I have Part 2.
I got that one on the Steelbook, the Walmart Steelbook that they dropped.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I have that in my top 2 of the franchise. I like Part 2 a lot.
I love Part 2. That's my favorite one.
I didn't know that was a hot take.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
What's your next one after that? What would be your top 3 of the Friday 13th?
Friday? Part 2. Part 2, Part 1, and Freddy vs. Jason.
I'm glad Freddy vs. Jason is getting the love it deserves.
Gas, perfection.
Yes.
Love that movie.
It's so fun.
Love that movie.
That movie is so fun.
I love that movie, dude.
It's so unhinged as well, man. Robert Englund is great in that.
You're not really missing shit. I'm gonna be honest, bro. That movie, that whole franchise genuinely is not good.
I've heard it's riddled with a lot of bad.
It's not good. I don't care what nobody say. It's not good. The first one, classic, good movie. The second one, fantastic. Third one, I respect.
I don't like it.
I respect the third one because that's how we got the iconic hockey mask.
True.
That's the only reason why I give it this respect. After that, bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
First of all, Jason Takes Manhattan. Motherfucker, half the movie he was on a boat. He
you.
wasn't even in Manhattan.
No.
Like, what are we doing? You're playing in my face right now.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because I made my way through that franchise last year because I'd seen a few, but I'd never seen all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm actually kind of excited to get to Jason in Manhattan. Jason Takes on Manhattan because I'm like, we'll see something different. Like, he's only in fucking Manhattan for like one shot.
Correct. Yeah. Yeah. Then you got Freddy Krueger. I hate most of his movies too. First one, gas. The second one, underrated.
Agreed. I like the
Very
second one.
underrated. What's funny is the director of the second one did not like the first one. That's why he
Really?
tried to undo everything the first one did.
Oh, wow.
He didn't even like the first one. He wanted to take Freddy in a whole new direction. Dream Warriors, great movie. The first three, I will say, I can fuck with those.
Mm-hmm.
But after that, Freddy's Dead and Dream Child and all the other stuff.
Yeah, the titles are crazy.
Yeah, not a fan of it.
Yeah, because then you look into the Friday franchise as well, and you got Jason Goes to Hell.
And Halloween, don't even get me started on that one. All those movies suck too, except the first one.
First one. What else?
Second one was all right.
I like the second one.
Then Curse of Michael Myers. They tried to like take him into this like supernatural,
Yeah. No,
kind
that
of like cult curse thing. I'm like, okay, you
very
tripping.
divisive.
Then they randomly made Laurie Strode his sister.
Okay. I don't think that was a bad decision.
I don't think it was a bad decision either, because in a way, it's like he's trying to wipe out his bloodline.
Right.
It wasn't a bad thing.
Don't mind that.
But that wasn't the original vision. Y'all just threw that in there.
However, it's hard to, like, if you're given the job to expand on what the original vision was, when honestly the original vision only extended to the first Halloween, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, how else could we switch it up? And honestly, with how great I think the 2018 Halloween adapted to, you know, separating itself from all the other timelines and, you know, just being a sequel from the first one, I do think it wouldn't have been a bad decision to keep that decision that Michael Myers was Laurie Strode's sister, because then it would really make sense of why the town of Haddonfield is absolutely petrified of Michael Myers, because based off the events from Halloween 1 and 2, there's a lot more deaths in there. There's a lot more kills. There's a lot more, you know, the town is a lot more aware of the name Michael Myers instead of, you know.
And it would make a little, and man, I'll say, I don't dislike the fact that they made her his sister.
Yeah.
I just wish if they was going to go that route, they should have stuck with it and not decanonized it, or whatever the fuck. Retconned it. Yeah. Because they retconned it.
Yeah.
By H2O, she wasn't his sister no more. I don't think. I don't know. I don't remember. No, she was still his sister.
She was, yes.
Because she was his sister in Resurrection and all that kind of stuff. But then when 2018 came out, which basically erased all the other movies, they retconned it, and it was just like, well, if you should have stuck with it.
They even made a joke about that in the movie.
Yeah, you should have just stuck with it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They're like, oh, isn't he her sister? And like, no, that was just some stupid rumor they made up. Like, come on, man.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Now, another franchise that tried to do something like that but failed horribly.
Oh, Texas Chainsaw.
Remember what happened in 2022? The Netflix one?
Oh, I have seen that one. What did they do?
They did the same exact thing Halloween 2018 did. Erased all the other sequels and made that one a direct follow-up to the first one and brought back the original Final Girl.
Yeah.
Dog shit.
Yeah.
That movie sucked, dude.
Yeah, I don't know why they retcon all that. Like, there's some decisions in there that you could work off of for sure.
Yeah, the timeline of Texas Chainsaw is kind of like all over the place.
Is it even more all over the place than Halloween?
It's about even.
Yeah. I honestly kind of don't mind that there's that many timelines of Halloween. I mean, I just have a soft spot for the Halloween franchise in general.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Halloween 3, Season of the Witch?
Underrated, underappreciated, misunderstood. That's a movie that you can say you didn't like it because you didn't understand it.
Okay.
Because John Carpenter's original vision for Halloween was never for Michael Myers to be the main focal point. It was supposed to be like an anthology.
Yeah.
Every installment was supposed to be a new story. So he only did Halloween 2 with Michael because everyone loved the first one. So he was like, okay, I'll give you another one. But with Halloween 3, he was trying to go with his original vision. Like, hey, this ain't supposed to be about him. Michael Myers was so unimportant at first that he didn't even have a name. He was the shape.
Yeah.
They didn't even bother naming him because he wasn't supposed to be a thing.
Yeah.
But everyone loved the movie so much that he became a thing.
Right. Like, so you see in the script and in the credits, like, it's all the shape. It was never Michael Myers.
Right. So they tried to go with his original vision, which was make it like an anthology.
Yeah.
And they even like had the mentioning of Michael Myers on the TV.
Yeah.
In Season of the Witch. So it's kind of like he was trying to build a universe.
Yeah. That's right.
Like if Halloween 1 was Halloween, Halloween 3 should have been Halloween 2. Halloween 2 should have been Halloween 3. Because then he could have been like the Return of Michael Myers. Like, oh, this one follows up to that one.
Yeah.
And then Halloween 4 could have been some other shit.
Yeah.
You know, and
yeah, Michael Myers just became too much of an icon to
it became too iconic.
But no, I absolutely love Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. That's in my top 3 for the franchise.
Yeah, very underrated.
Yeah, I think it is underrated. It's such a cool concept too for Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. And just, you know, if you create an anthology series just based around the holiday of Halloween, which I'm an absolute sucker for, like, yeah, I'll be seated for that for sure.
It could have been hard.
If you were to choose any horror movie prop, what prop would you choose?
For what purpose?
That's a good question there.
Like to just have?
I think to use. To have or to use?
To use? Like to kill people with? Like what are we doing here?
Anything you want.
Tell me,
what's a prop that you see in a horror movie where you're like, okay, I need to have that for like the studio?
Oh, the freaking killer clown gun.
Which one?
I got the cotton candy blaster. I got that one, but I want the bazooka.
The popcorn one?
Yeah, I want the popcorn bazooka. I want that one.
For the camera.
Yeah, I got that one. Yeah, I got that one.
Yeah,
I got that one.
Honestly, any prop from that movie, man.
Yeah. Any one of them. I would love that. I don't want to say this because I feel like it would be ridiculous. Because it's like, why would you want to own that?
What is it?
The Necronomicon from Evil Dead.
That's a good one, though.
Yeah.
No, that's a good one.
I would look at the pages. I would read the shit, though. Like, so I know what happens. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, I think like a real Necronomicon would be fucking cool.
Favorite horror movie kill?
Ooh. I don't even know, bro.
That's a lot.
That's way too many.
So because we were discussing this on recording yesterday. And so I just had written a few down off the top of my head.
Oh, I got one.
Okay.
The freaking bed scene in The Grudge.
Okay.
When the girl was in the bed and then she saw that keychain that she lost at the office. And then the keychain popped back up in the bed with her. And she felt the lump in the bed and she got pulled down. And she looked under the sheet and the Grudge lady just popped up and grabbed her. That shit was crazy.
I don't know why that just reminded me of the bed scene in Freddy vs. Jason. Don't know why. But
he that shit was crazy.
That was funny as hell.
Yeah, that one was funny.
Obviously you got your iconic ones like the chest burst scene in Alien.
Yeah.
Scream.
The blood bed scene from Freddy 1, the Nightmare 1.
Yeah, that's a good one. Scream opening kill as well. It's iconic.
Top tier.
Yeah. Best opening scene in the
The
franchise.
garage kill in Scream too.
Yeah.
That was kind of iconic.
Tatum. Rose McGowan. I love her.
Yeah.
One though that always gets me, man, is House of Wax. Jared Padalecki, the Achilles. Something about the Achilles. Whenever you go ahead and touch the Achilles.
Stop it right there. I had Achilles surgery when I was 10.
Oh shit.
Oof.
Yeah.
Anything Achilles makes me cringe.
That's young for an Achilles surgery too.
Yeah, I had Achilles tendonitis. I was growing, but the Achilles wasn't. So the doctor had to cut me open and stretch it manually. Fucking body horror. I lived through it.
That's intense.
Yeah, it was just.
Yeah, because my friend tore his Achilles years ago, and like seeing the recovery from that, I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, it was crazy.
But then not to mention, like, he's kept alive later in the movie, and he's like picking away at his face. Have you seen House of Wax? Okay, thank God. I thought you hadn't. Yeah, no, that's a good one. The Thing has got a lot of great kills as well. The defibrillator one, the stomach opens up.
Maniac when he scalped that girl.
Terrifier's coming up too with some.
Oh yeah,
crazy.
the bedroom scene, the shower scene.
Yeah,
the first one with the hacksaw.
That one gets me the most.
When he chopped the girl in that shit was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was messed up. The one in Terrifier 3 that honestly might have gotten me the most was the mom with the tube
with
and
the
the
rat?
rats. Yeah,
Like, who thinks of that?
yeah,
Yeah, it's crazy.
yeah. All right. To end it off, I'm gonna give you a horror movie versus. I'm just gonna give you 2 movies. You tell me which horror movie you think is better.
Cool.
All right. First up, we're going with the remakes. We got House of Wax 2005 versus Texas Chainsaw 2003.
I'm going TCM.
I think it's a good remake, honestly.
It was a great remake.
Yeah.
What's funny is House of Wax is actually more of a remake of Tourist Trap. It's more of a remake of that movie than it is the original House of Wax. Like if you watch Tourist Trap and then watch that, it's like, oh, it's the same fucking movie.
I like House of Wax though. It's one that's grown on me for sure.
Yeah.
It's funny too, man.
It is.
The line that gets me the most, because we always watch this movie with our friend group, and it's like fucking 2 p.m. broad daylight. They come out of the tents. We missed the big game. We slept through the big game. Like, it's fucking 2 p.m. What do you mean? The sun didn't wake you up?
It's a good I love a good 2000s ass movie. That's really what it is.
Mm-hmm. And I think sometimes they get a little too much hate.
Yeah.
They do. Like, you can easily separate the 2000s horror movies from other ones.
Yeah.
I enjoy them. All right. Next movies, we're going to go The Thing versus Alien.
The Thing. Easy.
That might stir up some comments. That'll be a good one.
The Thing. Easily, bro.
Easily,
dude.
I mean, I'm on your side. Don't get me wrong. I love Alien, but
I love Alien too, but come on, The Thing.
Yeah, gotta go The Thing.
Some of the best practical effects on screen.
One of the best looking movies too.
Mm-hmm.
It was gorgeous. Best music too. All right, I kind of know your. I do. I know your opinion on this already, but just for the fans, the original It from 1990 versus It Chapter 1.
Come on, man.
If you want, you can go on your rant.
It Chapter 1 from 2017. I have nothing else further to say.
I think it was definitely the better adaptation.
Yeah, it was.
And I think it was a very smart move to break it up into 2 chapters as well.
Mm-hmm. Because it would have been rushed.
Yeah.
Had they tried to combine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you gonna age up the kids halfway through the movie? Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah.
Because that was one of my issues with the original is like, I'm not spending enough time with either these kid characters or grown characters to really grow an attachment to them or care for them.
Right.
So, because you got to cast a whole different actors and everything. Mm-hmm. So I think it was definitely the smart move for what they did with the new ones. Your boy James Wan, The Conjuring versus Saw.
Conjuring. Yeah, Saw was like just a great story. I was like immersed in the story.
Yeah.
Great movie. Conjuring. I think Saw is a better movie, but The Conjuring is a better horror movie.
You can see Saw as like a mystery.
Yeah, it's like it's more like a mystery thriller thing.
Mystery
thriller.
I mean? Yeah. What if I said The Conjuring versus Insidious?
I'm still gonna go Conjuring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Creep versus Hell House LLC. Little found footage.
Hell House.
I'd agree.
Yeah.
I like both, but I would definitely go Hell House for me. The original Halloween versus original Nightmare on Elm Street.
Ooh. Nightmare.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Does it scare you more?
Yes.
Yeah. Did you watch that when you were a kid?
Uh-huh. I watched both of them when I was a kid.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. The alley with the long arms.
Yeah.
It creeped the shit out of me. It was too uncanny. It didn't look right. And that always stood out to me.
Yeah, see, I didn't watch that one as a kid, but I remember our dad, he would tell us when he saw that movie, I think he was he was in his 20s by then, but he went and saw that movie and he couldn't sleep for weeks still. Even in his 20s. All right, a few more. Have you seen Skeleton Key?
Of course.
Okay, because next I have Get Out versus Skeleton Key. And a lot of people that say Get Out is overrated are the people that say it's just a copy of Skeleton Key.
Which fucking crazy. I never thought about it like that. And it kind of, they are very goddamn similar.
But it's okay for horror movies to be similar.
Yeah, it's fine. I have no problem with that. I just never paid attention to God damn it, you got me twice today. With the Midsummer shit in that. God damn, that is true. Get Out but it's like reverse.
Right.
Instead of the white person trying to get into the black person's body, it was the black person trying to get to the white person's body. Uh-huh. I would say I'm putting Skeleton Key over Get Out though. I ain't gonna lie.
Really?
I ain't gonna lie. I'm getting.
Whoa, my girlfriend would be. Speaking of,
I love Skeleton Key, bro.
She's been hiding. That's her. That's Summer. She loves Skeleton Key.
I love Skeleton Key. I'm putting that one over Get Out.
Whoa.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Get Out. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong, but Skeleton Key, man, I saw that movie in theaters when I was like 13
Yeah.
with my pops, of course. And I love New Orleans. I love voodoo culture. You know, it was it's Southern. I'm from the South, so
Right.
My great grandma used to do all that voodoo shit too.
Uh-huh.
So it was very familiar. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I absolutely love that movie, and it had sequel potential.
Yeah.
It definitely had sequel potential, but it didn't do good.
Mm-hmm. No, it didn't.
I don't know why.
Maybe that could have been your Ugly Duckling too, because I don't think it has the best reception either.
I think it got like a freaking 30%
Yeah.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
Uh-huh. All right. Skeleton Key.
Yeah, gas.
Interesting. All right, last one for today. Original Texas Chainsaw versus the original Evil Dead.
Oh, original Evil Dead for sure.
I kind of figured since I came to learn that your favorite franchise is Evil Dead. Yeah. Do you have an Evil Dead franchise hot take?
Honestly, not really. It's not really a hot take.
Okay.
I just think the second Evil Dead is the best one.
That's the best one?
Mhm.
How many are there total?
Actually, no, that kind of is kind of a hot take because most people would tell you Army of Darkness.
Really?
People love that movie because that's the one where Ash had all his like iconic one-liners.
Yeah.
You know, shop smart, S smart. But yeah, the second Evil Dead movie, Chef Kiss, love that movie.
What? Because I don't think there's too many. Would you be able to give a ranking of your Evil Dead movies?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's hear it.
All right. At the bottom is Within the Woods. You know about that one, did you?
No.
Within the Woods was actually the short film that Sam Raimi and Bruce Campbell put together to get funding for the original Evil Dead
Oh,
movie.
sick. I feel like that's how a lot of the horror feature films go.
I would put Within the Woods, of course, because without that, we wouldn't have none of this shit.
Right.
Then I would actually put the first Evil Dead movie.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. Then I would put Army of Darkness, Evil Dead Rise, Evil Dead 2013, Ash versus Evil Dead the show, then Evil Dead 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. Get the show in there.
Mm-hmm. Because it's peak, bro.
Yeah.
3 seasons of it was I love that show.
Interesting.
It was peak.
Big on the new Evil Dead movies, though, I'd assume.
Yeah, they cool.
Yeah.
I fuck with them. Evil Dead Rise went into it expectations too high.
Yeah.
Rewatched it again after accepting it for what it was. Realized this is actually a pretty good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Reminded me a lot of Demons 2. Italian horror movie.
Yeah, okay. The trailers, I remember seeing the trailers for Evil Dead Rise in theaters, and it was a fucking scary trailer.
Yeah, that trailer was
Yeah.
still, I love that trailer, dude.
Anything else today?
No, I feel
You
like we
good?
done talked it up.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, that's going to do it for today's episode.
Sorry about that. You finna go through editing hell.
No, absolutely. I'm fine. Trust me. I'm handing him yesterday's episode, and I'm going to take this episode. So trust me, I'm used to it. I don't mind editing. But thanks for stopping by.
Hey, thanks for having me,
Great
man.
to have you, man. Glad we were able to make this happen.
Yeah, I'm jet lagged like a motherfucker, but I'm here.
Yeah, I bet. But yeah, glad we were able to make this happen during spooky season as well. I think this is just such a great time to talk about horror movies. And, you know, we got to get as much in it as we can because spooky season is not long enough in itself. So it's always great to be able to like get as much horror content in as possible.
Yeah. But for me, spooky season is 365.
Goddamn right. I'm going to keep watching horror movies after spooky season.
I watch them all the time.
Yeah.
Bro.
But if you made it this far, thanks for listening. As always, if you want bonus content, make sure to check us out on the Patreon. And once again, make sure to follow Stoney the Great on TikTok, Instagram, where he's got amazing horror, Marvel, and gaming content. And once again, thanks for stopping by.
Appreciate you, my boy.
All right. See you next time on Duck Takes.